Bam! Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dragon Tooth Miniatures, Hobby Ramblers. I'm Bill, your host, joined by our resident Russian, Mr. Ari, over here.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hello. So, unfortunately today, our dear friend Jade couldn't be on today. Yeah, let's get to some hobbying. What are you doing today, Mr. Ari?
Well, I got myself a Lord of Change somehow magically. Partially assembled it. Almost done painting, but somebody is telling me that I need at least 5 layers of dry brushing on the wings, which I'm slowly
Yes.
working towards. I've
Yes,
done 2.
Yes, I am wanting those wings to be like neon pink. Neon pink. I'm doing the Trump hand sign, like neon pink.
Because I also have this.
Oh, go for it, dude.
Oh yeah. I also have this Ethereum Blue, very epic-looking paint from GW's range. It's a dry paint. I have never tried it. I'll try it today. But I was thinking for the sharper edges, like the face, maybe the hands, maybe a bit of the shoulder feathers. Maybe I should just give it a slight dry brush of this to make it pop. You reckon that'd be wise?
Maybe. Give it a shot. Never know.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I'll just be shaking the paint.
Yeah. Dry paints don't shake. They're completely dry.
Well, I've been wasting lots of my time then.
Well,
I always check my dry paints.
Well, that
looks a bit weird.
What is happening? Suddenly, on the thing, it is not. Hold up. Holy moly, that was so weird. That was like a weird technical difficulty right over there. But anyway, yeah, I'm working on some System of Battle today, so yeah. There you are. So this is a commission I'm working on for the new Chalnoth kill team. So yeah, they're a bit more grungier. They're a little bit more like weathered look for System of Battle, but it works well. I feel it works quite well. So I am slogging through these Systems of Battle black armor. I'm enjoying it. Never been a fan of black armor. I don't like painting them.
I always thought black armor was rather easy.
To make it look good is just really irritating. I really like it.
That's the issue. I'm not much of a, I don't really focus on, making the models really nice. Playing Tyranids, I learned the hard way that speed painting is the way to go. But for black armor, I do recall painting a Space Marine once. You were saying?
No, it's just black armor is really annoying to get to look nice without making it look like you just went ahead and painted it black.
I mean, what tends to work for me, for like the 1 or 5 times that I've actually painted black-ish armor, is that, so I have this one, do I have it with me? Ah, yes. My kit-bashed Patriarch for my Genestealer Cultists, which are just slightly glorified Astro-Militarum people. So, I've actually got lighting now. I think you might be able to see this. Here he is. So in his hand, he's got a Black Templar helmet, and on the base, he's got a Black Templar chestplate. So what I sort of did is I painted it black, base coated it black. What a surprise! Painting black, you better base coat black. And then I went ahead and gave it a slight dry brush of I think it was Corax white, or maybe it was a slight dry brush of what is this called again? Lead Belcher. So either way, it's like a light dry brush, which really accentuates the features very nicely in contrast to the black, but also gives it a slightly worn, battle-damaged appearance, which is good if you're going for that battle-damaged appearance, but if you want a clean black, maybe edge highlighting is the way to go. But that'll take a lot of time, so just dry brush.
My thing is
In my
that
opinion.
when I do battle damage stuff, right? I tend to not dry brush anything. Like all those little scratches, I'll paint on.
Wow. I always thought you were very big on dry brushing and really enjoyed it.
There's a time and place for it.
Say, the light blue on the wings, you reckon that's showing enough, or should I give it a third light blue dry brush?
Let me see.
Oh gosh. Oh, by the way, I did the Ethereum Blue on the face. That came out quite good, I think. Doubt you can see it from here. Or do you think the wings are light blue enough?
Can't really see the Ethereum Blue, but I think the wings are blue enough, I think.
Alright. So I'll keep the Lutheran blue just in case I need to go back to clean up the line where the pink and blue meets later on. But other than that, I think this is going good. One or two more coats and it should be, nice looking pink.
Yeah. Doing good.
Not forgetting the little feathers on the legs, never skip leg day.
Never skip leg day, yeah.
Speaking of leg day, I've always been curious, like, what exercises do you do to target the glutes?
Squats.
Squats. I don't think squats actually help. I was thinking more of like lunges.
Lunges or squats.
Right, because for my leg day, when I do leg day, the main exercises I do are squats, lunges, what are they called? The calf raises, and it's mostly what I focus on. Because everything else I assume jogging kind of helps with.
Yeah. God, I need to start getting into jogging, honestly.
Yeah. I don't like to call it running, because when you say running, the first thing that comes to my mind is, really pushing yourself, trying to break your record. What I usually do isn't very, running, it's more of just a nice jog.
Well, what I used to do was that I would just put on my favorite, song, or my favorite podcast, and just, start, trying to spot, our local neighborhood cats. So I would jog around to certain spots to see if I could catch up with the local neighborhood stray cats.
Interesting.
Because,
I usually just hop onto a call with my friends and I chat with them while I jog.
You could also do that as well. But unfortunately, I don't have many friends that like to jog.
Don't want to do 5 layers of dry brushing, despite it making my miniature look very nice. I can't take it anymore. It's too dry.
Gotta do it, mate. Gotta do it.
Ignorance truly is bliss.
Right, that's a... good enough
nice.
highlight. The pauldrons. So I haven't done the I haven't done the spot highlights on the pauldrons yet.
How would you paint skin?
Same way I would paint anything. Just the undershade.
Base, wash, and then a slight dry brush.
You can just use a contrast if you don't know how to paint skin. Just use one of the contrast paints.
Yeah, I'd assume contrast would help. I mean, I would usually just, base, wash, slight dry brush.
So the way I would usually do it, is I have a recipe here, little box here by Vallejo. It's face painting, and it has like all these little colors which you can use to paint faces specifically, and it has instructions in it on how to do that. So that's what I've been using.
I see. I should have just dry brushed green instead of pink. What was I thinking going off script?
What do you mean, green?
Because on the box art, the Lord of Change has a greenish sort of end feathers, but most of my Thousand Suns and Siege things are pink and blue, and I really liked how Kairos Fate Weaver's wings looked. Like, the plumage going from blue to pink to white was really cool, and I made the horrible mistake of deciding to do that instead of just following the box art.
The box
Follow
art
the
is just...
box art, kids. It'll save you lots of pain and suffering later on in life.
Not really. Like, I've never followed the box art. Usually when I follow the box art, it just makes too much of a hassle.
Well, I mean, I don't follow it to the T, but I just, a general follow, like, oh, okay, I should paint this guy's skin like that, and that's what his armor should look like, and the weapon should be somewhat like that. So, just general stuff, not like to the point, to the full stop, to the letter.
Well, the thing is, right, whenever, like, I have to follow the box art, it's like, oh, I gotta paint it in the heavy metal style. I hate painting in the heavy metal style.
Is it really that hard?
It's not hard, it's just dull. It's really boring to do. It's really uninteresting. And it looks like it's really not interesting to watch as well. Somebody, like, do,
at one point in time, I was actually contemplating painting my Lord of Change, like some tropical styling. Bright greens and yellows and stuff. Thankfully, I stopped myself.
Why? What happened?
Can you imagine the amount of dry brushing and layering I'd have to do if I painted this thing going from yellow to green to orange?
Actually, it would have been easier, dude.
Don't give me hope.
No, the most difficult thing about that paint scheme would have been just getting the yellow. But then, going from green from yellow is real easy, actually.
Yeah. This would actually be a perfect time for me to talk about an interesting thing that happened to me. I think I've told you this about GW lately slipping up their game. One of the main problems is that I have this new wash, Seraphim Sepia, because I use Seraphim Sepia a lot for nids and people and stuff. And when I washed with it, it dried white in some areas. That was very unfortunate for me. I wanted to go over it with a second layer of the wash, but I chose not to because I thought, it looks fine as is. And apparently if you go over it again, it might actually dry white again and make everything even worse. Good thing I didn't do that. And that was very unfortunate. What else was I going to say? Just slipped out of my head. Yeah, very well. We get there when we get there. Right. Yeah. But on the flip side, this Flash Gets Yellow from GW. It was actually a very high quality. It covers very nicely. It's actually a very good consistency. I didn't need to add too much water. goes with water very well. It doesn't dry blotch or anything. So yeah, you get evidence of very good work, and then you get stuff like my Seraphim Sepia wash, which wasn't that good.
Yeah, the only thing that I would remind everyone is that, like, remember GW paints are like almost cost twice as more, like more than anyone else on the market. So the fact that you're getting any paints that are like, you know, something's up with them, is like, what's going on?
I mean, you're more or less paying for the brand, so you know there's a bit of
No,
you know,
you're supposed to be paying for the quality of the paint. That's how they've sold it. Like, that's how Citadel paints have always
big
been.
brand quality is usually a bit better.
But if you're getting, and I'm getting, like, I've gotten like a really bad, like, you know, set of like Black Templar. When I was trying to use them, Black Templar contrast paints on these gals. Yeah, it literally just didn't work. It literally just didn't work at all. It was
Did
like
you
leaving
shake it?
behind. Yes, of course I did. And it was just like the worst thing ever, and I just went like, you know what? I'm just gonna just wash everything off.
You stripped them?
Nope.
You just put wash over it and called it a day.
No. I literally ran them under a sink, and then it washed off.
So like the actual meaning of wash.
Yeah. It was that bad, I was just like, fuck this thing. It looks awful. Like, it actually looked awful.
My fingers the other day.
It would have been like easier for me and would have been cleaner for me just to like, you know, paint them in like, you know, black. Like, just, you know, base coat them in normal black.
Well, actually, I think that would have been a bit smarter to do. If you got a very diluted black, it would have almost acted as a contrast paint in a way, because the black would flow into the recesses if you diluted enough, making those parts darker. And you did a Zenithal highlight, correct?
The thing is, right, the Zenithal highlight was already there, and it was like, okay, usually when I use Black Templar on Zenithal highlights, it usually almost makes it black, with some little raised areas, which is the effect I wanted to get. On these gals, it dried in like these weird, disgusting kind of like streak marks on it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but so what I was saying is, with diluted paints, from personal experience, with the Zenithal highlight, that would have created the very similar effect of the very sharp raised edges being slightly more translucent black, almost grey-ish, dark grey in a way, which would have given you a similar effect.
No, like, you're basically trying to cover up the case that, like, you know, oh, this thing fucked up so bad that I was just so unhappy with it.
It did.
Yeah, no,
Horrible
yeah,
paint.
it was just like, what the fuck? And it was like, okay, cool, this is so far out of the norm.
Aren't
so,
we meant
like,
to
yeah,
keep the channel kids friendly?
Yeah, well, it's just like, you know, yeah, so I chucked that in the bin immediately.
You threw it away?
Yeah, I just chucked it in the bin. Like,
you could have given it to me.
No way, dude. That'd be irresponsible.
Like, you could have been like, this is like a slightly weird paint, you know, test it out on something, you see if it works or not, you know, here you go.
Nah, man, it's failed me once already. It's failed me once already.
And you still, like, like, you actually threw it away, like, away, or it's just like, I don't know, a paper bin next to you?
No, it's like, you know, in the bin chute.
Could have gotten a free borked paint.
I'm the kind of person where it's just like, oh, this thing has, like, failed me. It's like, yep, right in the bin. Right in the trash compactor.
Well, I mean, after a third coat, it's actually looking very nice. I think that's about it. So,
yeah.
As we can see, the wings, much nicer, aren't they now?
Yes. I'm a big advocate of, like, you know, if your dice have failed you so badly, you line them all up and you freeze one of them, the offending dice, and then you put it in front of all the other dice so they can watch, and then just smash them. Smash that one. Just execute him.
Yeah, there's a bit of the leg feather. You reckon that looks fine?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Do
The
more.
Other side.
5 coats.
Show.
Neon purple. Neon pink.
I've done 3. 3 is
Yeah,
also a prime number, you know.
What are you talking about? It's not about the prime numbers, it's about the effect.
Ah, there we go. I think there's the head. The Ethereum blue on the sort of cheek feathers and a bit on the top.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. I really like how the mouth turned out. It was very easy to paint, actually. I used my rattle cans as very expensive dry brushes and air brushes. I primed the underbelly, neck, and sort of face part white, and all the plumage blue. So all I had to do was really just give it a thin coat of Corax white on the beak and mouth, and just wash the mouth with Carabug Crimson.
Yep.
Very nice paints. Really enjoyed the GW range.
I'm slowly finding out that the GW range is just like cannot be relied on. Like,
I mean, yeah, the GW range, I would say that it's obviously not the best. Like, you know, there's companies dedicated to making paints, and if their paints were less quality, it'd be a bit strange. Like, you know, you've got those good big brand names, which I don't really, but I think I know one of them, which is like Vallejo, pronounced not Vallejo, it's pronounced some other way. But for a beginner, I would highly suggest GW paints, but don't get the base paints. Try get the air paints, because as Bill has told me, that they're almost the perfect consistency to use out of the pot on your miniature. They're very nicely thinned.
yep.
And that you can find them almost anywhere, the GW paints. So there you go.
Yep. And the thing about them that you gotta remember is that like don't forget the air paints. You do have to pay a bit of a premium for them. Like exactly twice.
Oh no, that's
Twice.
not good.
Twice the normal amount as a normal paint.
On second thought, I don't think you should, but actually, no. You should get the base paints. Well, you should start with air paints, and then as you slowly progress in your hobby, and you can confidently and consistently thin your base paints, then you know you can slowly move into those, because they probably have a wider range of colors that you can use.
Yep.
Baby steps, little steps at a time. Just slight premium now will help you along the way later. You'll have the courage to paint your miniatures, and the best way to get better at painting is to actually, you know, brush to paint to model, and see how it goes.
Yes, and then you too shall be like me, where I am just like, this paint has failed me, in the bin, in the inferno it goes.
Or, you know, you could then just be like me and enjoy the paint for what it is, and not ask too much of it.
I'm like, you have failed me! Into the inferno.
Only the Sith deal in absolutes.
So do the Jedi, though. They've got more rules than the Sith.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the Jedi aren't perfect.
They're so flawed.
Yeah, and that's what makes them interesting. That's what makes them interesting.
The Jedi only deal in absolutes. They only deal in absolutes. That's the
which
issue.
is good, because no, it's good because think about it this way, right? The Jedi and the Sith. The Sith are very likable and enjoyable and relatable because, you know, they have emotions. They actually do stuff, like they do what they want to do, and you can relate to that. And the Jedi, if they were just perfect, like goody two shoes by the book, nobody would relate to them. They'd be horrible characters. So that's why we have, you know, very interesting characters like Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan, who actually, you know, allow some of their emotions to show through, and they're not perfect Jedi. And that flaw of the Jedi is what makes them so interesting. So, you can't just have perfect things. Perfect things are unrelatable, and unrelatable things aren't interesting. Most of the time.
Yes, I mean, we do play a game which has, like, genetically enhanced super soldiers that are, like, 8 feet tall.
Did I say I like Space Marines? No.
Well, it's just like,
Well,
it's like
that's it. You won't
both
be
of
seeing me
them.
tomorrow. I just said I dislike Space Marines. The Gestapo will be at my door.
Space Marines. I don't know, nothing wrong with the Space Marines as a whole, but I just find that, like, too
Yeah,
much.
I mean, some of them have interesting characters.
I feel
The main
that
problem with Space Marines... Yeah,
I
go
feel
on.
like that they just have too many releases going on at once, and I find this as a complaint with the Space Marine players as well, because they find it very difficult to keep up with the releases. And for everyone else, all the Xenos players, it's like we're all here just standing, going like, "Can we get something?" It's like, no, we'll never get anything. Never.
Well, not really never. I mean, last year, Ned's got a pretty good battle force.
Dude,
Dan
a
and
battle
Drukari
force.
were cracked.
A battle force is just it's just a reboxing of currently available kits in a different packaging. I'm talking about actual new models coming out, which happens every other week.
Models. Okay.
Yeah, which
They
happens
do?
every other week for Space Marines. I'm like,
No,
bro.
No. I think you're over-exaggerating a bit, but I get the point.
No, it is every other week, because when I was working at Games Workshop, it was almost every week that there was a new Space Marine thing. There was always a Space Marine new lieutenant, a new character, something that was Space Marines coming out.
Well, I mean, they are the poster boys in a sort of way, so it is understandable.
You get very burnt out with Space Marines very quickly, honestly.
I mean, my previous statement where, Space Marines are very generic and unlikable is actually, now that I think of it, is very false. It's just that the Ultramarines in the, a few years back were like that. I think that the Space Marines now, as a whole, especially the Traitorous and Heretic Marines, are very interesting characters, because, them being corrupted shows their human part of their superhuman, and it makes them a bit more relatable. Like, you look at them and you say, why would you sell your soul to Chaos? And they're like, well, you see, actually, 10 years ago, before the Horus Heresy, this Blood Angels, he took my French fries and I was very sad. And you're like, I would sell my soul to get back at a bloke who took my French fries, And you kind of see them more as human. More so than the loyalist Space Marines, in a way, if you get what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're trying to say, and my retort to that is basically, can we get less Space Marine releases for a while? Like less lieutenants, please?
Why don't you like lieutenants?
There's too many of them.
And yet, quite ironic hearing two NID players say that, there's too many lieutenants.
Yeah.
Can never be too many Termagants, too many warriors.
But Termagants aren't hero characters. They aren't characters.
You're just being rude to Termagants now. Saying they're unworthy of being a character.
They aren't characters. They're just shaft to die. Lieutenants aren't that, though.
Very insensitive of you. Say, actually, have you heard of the Dagon Overlord? Bill?
Wait. Oh shit. Wait.
Yep.
OBS is... wait, okay, good. OBS was kind of doing something, and it was like, oh no. Yeah, you were talking to me about the Dagon Overlord.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
No, what is that?
Oh. I think back in the day in Tyranid lore, there was like a sort of a pseudo character, kind of hive tyrant called the Dagon Overlord, which I think its main story was that when it was attacking a planet, unlike other Tyranid creatures, which were extremely efficient in what they did, it would really prioritize sort of like terror tactics and try wounding the enemy and letting them escape and all of that. That got me thinking that but I thought if I do a bit more research into this sort of Dagon Overlord, I could maybe like custom build something like a Dagon Overlord, give it the correct paint scheme and all of that stuff, and maybe use it as like a character in a Crusade or whatnot sort of other game.
Yeah, you could honestly.
So, yeah, it's sort of like a the Lost Primarch lore in a way.
Lost Tyranid.
So are we allowed to
Lost.
mention other YouTube channels, or is that
Yeah.
like illegal?
Yeah, no, it's
We
not
are?
illegal. That's the most
All right,
legal
well,
thing.
all right. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, what if we get sued by them? Like, oh, look, you said this. We never asked you to say this. Pay us $20 or something crazy like that.
No,
And I'll be
they're
like, well, I
probably
don't
like,
have $20. I'm painting at Florida Change.
this costs me too
Oh,
much. I need to send.
yeah. Well, nonetheless, what are they called? One Mind Syndicate. Yes. If you've watched their recent videos for Nidvember, which I think is a pretty cool idea, I
I have
enjoy it
not
a
watched
lot.
One Mind Syndicate in years, but go on.
Yeah, well, so it was quite ironic that the other day, my pals and I, we were discussing the Lost Primarchs, and I was like, it'd be interesting if the two Lost Primarchs were actually, female Primarchs, and the Emperor just happened to, kill them, and it's just ironic that both of them were female. And the next day, they released a video, and I think it was one of the One Mind Syndicate blokes is like, yeah, I'm working on this new army. So one of the Lost Primarchs, and I'm gonna make it a female Primarch who's gonna be like the progenitor Sisters of Battle or something. I thought it was very interesting. It was a very interesting idea. So, if that gives anyone else an idea, like the Dagon Overlord or one of the second Primarch, one of the two Lost Primarchs, it's a very interesting path you can take your hobby in, which I think is great that GW has left that sort of open to interpretation.
Won't be there soon. Won't be there soon.
Things that I'd like to share.
Yes. So my thing is basically like I don't like the idea that at any point that one of those characters could be just like gone.
Yeah.
At any point.
They could just be retconned.
Yeah, they could be retconned.
But I mean, one thing that I think we should, well, not really praise, but one interesting thing with GW lore is that to avoid all of these issues, what they've essentially done is they said that every single bit of Warhammer lore is canon, but not every single bit is true. Which is a fancy way of saying that, yeah, essentially everything that has been said or is going to be said is part of the Warhammer universe, but it could just be a rumor that's been spread, or, it could just be some, insane man shambling, which really leaves the door open to interpretation. And even if they retcon something, you could still use that in your custom, homebrew games or chapters, That's something nice, to think about, hopefully.
Oh no, my thing for it is basically like I don't like the fact that like everything that didn't have a model because of the whole chapter house suit was just removed and unplayable now.
That seems like it could be an issue.
So yeah, they're still talked about in stories and stuff like that, like but like technically speaking, I don't know if I would be allowed to even go to an official GW tournament, GW event, uh, with that character. So if I turned
Oh yeah,
up with
definitely
my
not.
converted, with a converted Doom of Malantai to a GW run kind of like event, like like a story event or something like that, just like a friendly story event, I might not be allowed to use that.
Well, I mean, if it's a story event, I think that you probably would be able to use it, especially if you actually spent the time and effort to convert it out of GW bits.
Thing is, I
And
don't
you
know.
somehow fished out like the data sheet for it from 20 years ago when it was a thing.
Thing is, right? I just don't know.
So
I just don't know with current GW.
yeah.
Um, it's a lot of like ifs, ands, or buts. Because I have spent all this time and money, like converting something up, and only to find out like you can't even use it for whatever I want it is to do with it.
Yeah, well, that is always an issue, especially with GW like nowadays when they're very specific about their kit bashing and the tournament miniatures,
They're
which I
so
sort of get
specific
from one
about yeah. At least like
I get from one perspective, but honestly, like
bro. Okay, so
if you printed like Space Marine heads, you still probably bought the Space Marine box.
you
So
have to buy the Space Marine
yeah.
box anyway. So it's like if you're 3D printing something and you sold a $90 kit, why does it matter that they're 3D printing like shoulder pads for them, custom shoulder pads for them, for their homebrew chapter?
Yeah,
You don't
it's
sell the decals. You don't sell every single combination of decals for these Space Marines. And even if you
I
do,
understand them.
like even if you do, right? Like if like GW does sell them, they're usually like a one-time run.
Mm.
Like the Spears of the Emperor, right? You could only buy that once from a White Dwarf subscription for 1 month.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a permanent product.
I mean, the main argument that usually gets brought up of if we should allow, small bits to be printed or whatnot. One way to avoid that whole thing of like, where do you draw the line, is the majority of the model. Just say that the majority would be the chassis, the main chassis. If the main chassis is official GW, you can put any amount of 3D printing you want on that, because that ensures that you have to buy their product, and that also makes sure that the silhouette is somewhat recognizable. So that would be an easy fix. Just say that the chassis has to be GW, and then you could have up to 10 accessories. An accessory being as big as you want. A turret could be an accessory, or a track, or whatnot, like something like that, to make it a bit more streamlined, but still allow some room for customization.
So my thing about that is that like that was the old way of doing things before the new GW came in and like changed it up to essentially a zero tolerance policy. I just don't
I
get that.
also get that it's
Like,
extreme.
when did like 3D printing something at home? When did making something at home suddenly become stealing? Like, if I 3D printed like 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 one of those screw tacks to use in my wall, screw fasteners, because I have like drilling a hole in the wall. Am I like stealing somebody's idea?
Definitely. You should be imprisoned for your theft. This is a heinous crime. You should be hung. Of course not. It's
Yeah,
just
I just
so
find that
ridiculous.
ridiculous. It's like we have
Yep,
the
one
same
moment. I'll be
conversation.
back.
Oh, okay. Hold on, we're going into missions. Boom! Welcome back.
Yep, all good now.
All good?
Hopefully.
What happened?
Just my parents asking what I'm up to. They were curious what I was making. So I mean, I've told them that I'm recording a video with my friends. Gonna be a bit busy. And they're like, "Oh, what are you recording it on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm painting little plastic people and discussing the lore of little plastic people." Like, oh, okay, it's interesting. Don't think they were rather happy with me.
Why were they not happy with you?
I don't know. I mean, it's a bit interesting when put yourself in their shoes. You've raised a child essentially from birth to almost mature adulthood, and their biggest, well, not biggest, but what they do in their spare time or as a hobby is painting little plastic people.
I thought you said your parents were super on board and super supportive of you. Doing this
Yeah, they are, but
instead of getting up to who knows what.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely. I mean, I always tell them when they're like, "Hey, why are you doing this? You should go. You should." When I how old are you now? I'm like, "Oh, I'm this much. When I was your age, I was a year old. You should be chasing girls at this age." I'm like, "Yeah, well, in due time, in due time. I spend all my money on little plastic people. I don't have time."
What are you talking about? I've already introduced you with somebody. God damn it!
Yeah.
God damn it! All the work you keep doing for everyone, they're so unappreciated. Dang it!
Nonsense. Hey, how are Demons of Tzeentch doing? Nowadays, are they good? Are they bad?
They're somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I would say. They're pretty good. They're pretty strong. They lean heavily towards an objective based gameplay. Pink horrors are pretty annoying to get rid of on objectives. They're real annoying.
I was reading the 5th edition codex, and do demons still have the what is it called, instability keyword? No, right?
No. What?
Such a shame. Such a fun rule. So instead of taking morale, you roll, I think you roll 2 or 3 dice or something. And if you roll 2 to 5, it's all good. However, if you roll double 1s or double 6s, essentially your morale phase is your instability check. So you roll 2 dice. If you roll doubles, double 6s, you trigger an ability called Reality Blinks, and all the models in your unit are restored to full health and full unit capacity, which is very, good for you. However, if you roll double 1s, it activates the Banishment ability, which essentially means that unit just straight up disappears from combat, and the unit that it was in combat in can consolidate up to 3 inches. So that's a very fun that's a very fun thing, and it's a shame that they replaced it with an demonic icon where if you roll double 1s or you roll a 1 rail, you could get back D3 models. I prefer instability, a lot more RNG.
I think it's more just fun, a lot funnier. Sometimes it happens where it's just holy moly, that entire unit just came back again. What the heck?
Yeah. Other times,
Other times it's
no, my 30 pink horrors disappeared.
Yeah, Commissar Zap Branigan charges in, kills 1 brimstone horror, make a demonic instability check. It's oh no, banished. It's another medal for Commissar Zap Branigan.
Yeah. Maybe we should try start a campaign or.
I'm already planning on doing that. I'm working on it right now. I'm working on the trying to make a world and stuff like that, and figure out maps, a hex map for it, or a campaign map, a Dawn of War style thing for it. It's an old
wow.
Yeah, it's an old project that like I wanted to do like in Red House, but the upper management was like, that'll never work. That sucks. I'm like, what?
Well, I mean, do you really need their blessing to go through with your ideas?
Technically, yes.
Okay. Well, then it makes sense.
I'm like, how does this like not work? Everyone loves the Dawn of War campaign. Everyone loves that game. We made that game. But I'm just translating it into like a tabletop game where like we get to use our models for like an actual campaign, like on an actual campaign map. And also I had a thing where it's like I wanted to do like a encourage people to like use bits from the big box. So what I
Oh, yeah, I think.
So what I wanted to do was that like if you got a kit, you could take bits from the big bits box to use in that kit to convert up that unit, and then we'd work together to make some extra special rules for the units, and then you can use them in the game. So let's say for
Well, that
example,
sounds
right?
fun.
Yeah, let's say for example, right? If somebody bought a box of assault intercessors, right? And there was like a bunch of Grey Knight bits in the bits box. They could convert up those assault intercessors into Grey Knights, and we'd make rules that were kind of like, similar to maybe the Grey Knights from like the Dawn War. That one Grey Knight unit, like the Space Marines could bring. So they would get like an enhanced charge ability. They would get like like a weird speed boost, and in the first round of combat they could like do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be fun, but it'd have to, be measures would have to be in place. It'd probably be very complicated to integrate this into a more streamlined 40k. So it'd have to be very campaigny or.
It is a campaigny. It's not meant to be in streamlined 40k. It's purely for a narrative play.
Yeah, I can see that working quite nicely if it was implemented properly.
Well, my thing was that like I brought it up, and it was like the upper echelons were like, no, that would never work. That's a terrible idea. It's like, what?
Sometimes you should listen to your higher ups.
Never.
That's probably not the case this time, but just sometimes.
Like as my thing working in any company, I've learned like listening to your higher ups yields almost no results all the time.
Interesting.
Like all the time, it yields no results, and sometimes to the detriment, because we miss out on opportunities.
But you can't just straight up not communicate with them either, so.
I wish I could, honestly. I seriously
Careful
think that
what
like
you wish for.
yeah, I seriously wish that was a thing. So like you just like well, that's why I'm kind of yeah, that's kind of why I'm investing myself into like the YouTube and also the commission painting and stuff like that, so I can kind of like be a lot more independent
Avoid the higher ups.
yeah, I can be a lot more independent of like just like of the regular workplace job scope, that kind of thing, because I've just found like, oh my god, this is just
Tiring sometimes, I guess. Bless you.
The social pitfalls of it all, like it's just like I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to work. Thank you. I just want to work directly with me and the guy that's actually paying me, which is usually the customer. And that's the extent of the transaction. I don't want like some other person breathing down my neck for no reason and going like, that's wrong, even though, like, he's not there. Like,
It's
he's
not.
not. He's not there. So I guess that's why I kind of really enjoy the whole thing of, like, commission painting, because it's like, I'm working directly with the person that's actually like the paymaster. So good and bad sometimes. Sometimes, you get bad people, pretty demanding people. But then you just kind of go like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna take jobs from you anymore. You always have that option.
Yeah. I mean, I think I sort of was thinking maybe trying to do commission painting, but the two main things that have stopped me is that once I begin asking for money for what I do, there's an inherent sort of unspoken promise that I have to do a good job of it, and I don't know if many people will enjoy the my painting skill for money. So I was thinking
your
more of just getting
building?
people who...
What about building?
Building?
Yeah.
Just build miniatures for them.
Yeah.
Because what I was thinking is more of just, a sort of commission painting, as in anybody at this local game store who's got, gray miniatures and can't be bothered to paint them and doesn't really care about it, I'd be like, you know what? Give them to me for like 3 or 5 days. I'll give them like a paint scheme, anything that you want, or if you want something looks cool, I'll just do something that I want to paint. I'll give them back to you completely free of charge. You get something because now you got painted miniatures. I get something. I get experience from painting it, and the quality doesn't exactly matter because I didn't ask for anything in return for this. So something like that. Though I don't know if anyone would want to lend me their miniatures for a week.
I've been thinking about like having somebody build some miniatures. If that's something that would interest you.
Could be.
So it's not like
Alright,
it's not like you're painting it, but it is an integral part of the process, which I find is my most time-consuming process. Where it's like, wow, okay, those hours I spent building like these miniatures, I could have been painting them, and I would have made way more progress.
Yeah, well, now that I come to think about it, I would actually be down to on second thought, I'm not exactly the best instruction reader, despite assembling many miniatures. Anywho, so slight tangent. I think this would be quite important to share with people. So the way I usually do my basing, well, this time I didn't really do it as I would. I'd usually blend the colors together a bit more, but as we can see, the base, it's got, blue, pink, a bit of dynamic stuff on it. And you'd be thinking, well, that's a great looking model, but the base is a bit lacking. And you're correct, because what I would do over this is I'd put a, what is it called? A technical paint with crackling effect. So what would happen is that as the paint dries and crackles, I would get bits and pieces of the underneath painted thing to come through, which, since it's breaking up the silhouette, makes it a bit more blended together, A, and B, looks very nice when you look at the base with big cracks in it, and you can see that, okay, well, it's pink and blue and all of that underneath. Kind of looks cool. So I'll just wet blend it, or dry blend it. I'll see what I want to do. Blend it up a bit, and then I'll probably put a technical paint over it, and hope it works. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
I was gonna say the Emperor protects, but then I realized this is a Lord of Change.
Siege protects.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't
Siege
think
protects.
so.
Siege protects, but also attacks.
I mean, out of all the Chaos Gods, I think Tzeentch would probably be the worst one to worship.
Why?
It's okay, like, for example, you worship Khorne, right? It's very straightforward. You go, you fight, you shed blood, and everyone's happy, right? You keep getting stronger. Yeah, maybe if you don't fight, you go insane, but who cares about your mental health when you've got, like, biceps the size of bowling balls? Anywho, take Slaanesh. Yeah, okay, Slaanesh is pretty bad because, eventually, once you try everything, it doesn't feel the same as the first high that you get. But it'll probably take you quite some time to try out everything. And at the end of the day, when you die, Slaanesh makes your death a new experience, which you've never experienced, a very pleasant one. At least that's what the lore says. Nurgle, you spread disease, and in your free time, you gotta practice your horticultural skills in its garden, and you gotta play with beasts of Nurgle, which I guess that's not too bad.
And
We come to
Nurglings.
Tzeentch.
The Nurglings.
Yeah,
we got Nurgling plushies now, which are so cute. Imagine playing with like a whole garden of them.
I mean, the thing about Nurgle is that the reason all of the followers are so happy and cheery is not because I think they're actually happy, but that their brains are just so maggot infested, they just don't know how to dissociate reality from whatever they're thinking of. But
no, here's the thing,
doesn't
right?
matter. I mean, yeah?
Like, okay, I would argue that Nurgle is the best Chaos God to sell your soul to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because he gives you exactly what you want, which is relief and immortality. Yes, you're going to be pretty smelly, but the great thing is that, number one, you're not going to be able to smell any of it, and you don't feel any pain. So it's not like, Khorne, or Slaanesh, where there's a catch to, whatever you're trying to get out of them. So for Khorne, it's like with battle prowess, usually. Yeah, sure, you get your bowling ball biceps, but, you go insane. Slaanesh,
you're not in battle. In battle, it's all dandy and you're happy.
Yeah. Like Slaanesh, same thing. You get your hedonistic excess and your pleasure palaces and stuff like that. But then after a while, it's just like, oh, I don't feel anything anymore. Then you go absolutely insane because you don't feel anything anymore. Whereas Nurgle, it's like you get exactly what you asked for. You're not going to die of natural means. You're given salvation from whatever disease that was ailing you, and what's worse is that you now no longer feel any pain. So all those times when you stub your toe on the corner of your cabinet won't even affect you anymore. That's a bonus if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, well,
Nurgle,
I mean,
nice guy,
best
Nurgle.
thing about Nurgle, in my opinion, is that you see all the other Chaos Gods, the way that they kind of force you to accept their gifts and all of that. With Nurgle, you have disease, you accept his gifts, you have worms eating your intestines, but his gift is that you don't feel pain. Suddenly, a worm eating your intestine doesn't seem like that much of an issue.
Yeah, because you don't even feel it. You're just like, oh, okay.
And you might not even need your intestine anymore. You're I think your soul gets replaced with warp spaghetti. So.
No, that's not. No.
You sure?
Yeah, that's.
They still have their souls.
That's TTS. That's text to speech.
No, does it?
Yeah.
No, but your soul does get replaced. You no longer have a soul.
That's only if you're a Primarch. That's only if you're a Primarch.
Oh, really? It's only if you're strong enough?
It's if you're just like a regular person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get boons of Nurgle, which are basically the diseases. As the first blessing you get. Like everyone gets this. It's like it's like your it's like your it's like your grocery card bonus that happens automatically. Yeah, basically are unaffected by any disease.
Sounds nice. I'd take that. Actually, no, I wouldn't. That'd be heresy.
So it doesn't mean that, like, you're not going to be a carrier for diseases. But it means, like, the super Ebola that's, like, ravaging your planet. You get it, and it's like, oh, well, I'm A-okay.
You don't feel a thing.
Yeah. And then, you get your neighbors in on it because you're like, hey, I don't want little Timmy to die. It's like, hey, little Timmy, like, invite over your parents, I've got the, I've got a friend over here, he says that if we start, like, if we start, like, being nice to him and saying good things about him, he'll make it so that, like, we don't get the super Ebola. Or we'll be immune to the super Ebola. It's like, oh, yeah. And that's how a Nurgle cult starts, usually.
It's kind of sad if you think about it.
Well, it's not even that sad. I think it's kind of wholesome. It's like, yeah, that's a pretty nice cult. It's like, it's not started by, like, some random rich aristocrat. It's not started by some, hopped up, like, roided up super soldier. It's like, just like an average Joe that's just like, you know what? I've got the answer. I'm gonna help out my neighbors and my neighbors' neighbors. I don't want them to die.
Yeah, but then if you look at, like, what they would do is that, so when the Death Guard or, Nurgle is trying to take a planet, what they would do is they just give, like, everyone on the planet this super Ebola, or try to spread it as far as they can. And then in order to make them join Nurgle, they just sit around, like, them when they're dying from super Ebola and just laugh at them to, like, be like, hey, yo, Lamau, look at this loser. How cringe. Imagine, like, being affected by super Ebola. And then they'd, like, sort of, like, peer pressure you into, like, joining Nurgle, which I think is very mean.
I think that's pretty mean, too. Which is why I think, like, Astartes themselves are just massive dickheads.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, let's be honest. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you were a roided up super soldier who's lived for 1,000 years, and, like, you passed some unpassable physical, like, tests to prove that you are worthy of, like, Primarch's, gene seed. Like, who wouldn't go around being like, yeah, I'm superior to you, you should probably bow down to me and give me all your riches, because you're not me and you'd love to be me.
But that's the point. They're not meant to be like that.
They're called superhuman. Emphasis on the human, because they were once people. And people will always be people.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I just think, like, the, So that's why I think that, like, if I was ever gonna get, like, Nurgle-fied, I would probably, like, willingly join, like, a Nurgle cult, like that my neighbor set up, or my best friend set up, and go, like, oh, Bill, I don't want you to get, like, killed by the Super Ebola. I've got the answers. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah, well, the answers are technically just getting Super Ebola and praying hard enough that you don't die from it.
Hey, if the answer, like, it is that, and it's like it works, I'm sure, like, everyone will be taking it.
Yeah, well... Okay, so where were we getting at? Yeah, being a worshipper of Tzeentch is horrible. Right, the main reason being is that when you are, decide to worship Tzeentch, you're sort of lulled into a sense of security that all you have to do is you pray to this god, and you get wisdom and intelligence beyond all measure. And you're like, hell yeah, of course I want to do that. I'll become a psyker and I can shoot lightning bolts from my fingers.
Or you just want to be like, I want to be big brain tactician man.
Yeah. But the second you actually, like, sign the paper, give Tzeentch your soul, he's like, "Aight, buddy, that was all a scam. So what you actually got to do is now you got to keep gaining knowledge, and if you don't keep gaining knowledge, all the warp powers that you have, yeah, they're gonna turn you into like a warp spawn, and you have to keep gaining knowledge. Like that's the only way out."
Yep.
And another horrible thing is that he, being the Lord of Deceit, he always is trying to plot schemes and pit his best champions against each other. Not like a way of, oh yeah, you guys fight to the death and see who's better. No. You're like, hey, you guys are super wise. You're my wisest guys. Please find I don't know, this hidden scroll. But he would plan out the journey in such a way that they would constantly be backstabbing each other. And you would always, if you succeed in that and you become like a Herald of Tzeentch, epic title, you have a target on your back. All the other exalted sorcerers will be trying to end you to claim your title. You're gonna go insane just looking behind your shoulder every time you take a turn to make sure no one tries to kill you. You get driven mad, and if you don't, and you are persistently proving yourself to be a great sorcerer or whatnot, Tzeentch will be like, okay, you know what? Let's do a bit of trolling, shall we? As the youngsters say. And he would make schemes and ploys, make you part of those schemes and ploys, and be like, what do you think? What do you think we should do here? And he'll lull you into a new sense of, superiority to Tzeentch. You'll be thinking, well, look at him. Look at my god. He's doing these petty little things, I'm better than him. And when you try to kill him or take his place, he goes, well, you've been pranked, I'm actually better than you, you're now a Chaos Spawn. So, worshipping Tzeentch is an all-around horrible time, especially if you're a Lord of Change, because according to the lore, Tzeentch loves, problem-solving and riddles so much that his Lords of Change, when they speak to him to tell him, vital information, are not allowed to speak the whole truth. They have to lie to him in some sort of way. Or else he's like, well, you told me the truth. You are worthless. You are unwise. You, my friend, are now a very big Chaos Spawn. And there you go.
You're a greater Chaos Spawn. Congrats.
Yeah, it's such a sad existence to be a worshipper of Tzeentch. Yeah, you get that initial power boost of becoming super wise and a super psyker, but the cons just outweigh the pros.
Yeah, it's so bad.
A lot. With corn, at least, you'll get, crunched up into whey protein powder and snorted by, bloodthirsters. But at least corn will tell you, bruh, look, you gotta hit the gym, hit those gains, or else you're gonna end up like that. Or you gotta hit the gym, hit those gains to do that to others, so you don't end up like that. And you're understandable, have a great day. So at least he's, upfront to you.
Yeah, and the great thing about I guess the good thing about getting munched on by bloodthirsters, they're not gonna try and ambush you. They're not gonna try these sneaky tactics. They're gonna be they're gonna come up to you and be point you out and be we're throwing down now.
Or
and you're gonna be
no, not you, the little one. Come fight me. The ring, 2 p.m. Be there. Don't be late.
Yeah. Outside the Brass Castle, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
That's
very interesting.
Oh, okay, we're throwing down.
I just gotta hit the gym.
Then you can do you got a few hours, so you gotta hit that Rocky montage.
Oh, sorry, one moment.
Yep. Okay, let's. Oh wow, that was incredibly short.
No.
What happened?
Oh no, just a quick. I was just asked a question. I just answered.
Oh, okay. Coolio, man.
Yeah, it's not worth a stopping.
I pressed the intermission thing.
No.
Oh, it's fine.
What
It's fine.
Done?
It's fine.
All right, so it's coming out very nicely. The Lord of Change. I think I put the paint on too thin. I may have to repaint it. I don't want to repaint it.
Oh.
Well, at the end of the day, I could just give it a 2-3 thin coats of dry brushing and call it a urban base. Draw a road down the center.
I'm almost
Very
done with
lazy
all the
anyhow.
corsets. And then I would have officially done all of the power armor on these gals.
Yes,
Including
I've
all the
actually
coats.
noticed that yeah. I don't know why, but I tend to I have almost no unpainted miniatures. The miniatures that I have unpainted, I've got like that's quite a bit. It's 10 miniatures, 10 unpainted primed miniatures, which I can't paint because my paint is being borrowed right now. But once I
What?
get that back, I'll finish them off. But I've noticed that I usually tend to finish my projects very quickly, and then I get bored because I've got nothing to do.
Again, I'm looking for somebody to build a whole bunch of miniatures for me if you're interested.
Oh, sure. What do you want me to build?
Terrain! Your favorite thing.
Is it?
Like a metric ton of terrain.
I've never actually built proper terrain. All the terrain I have is from styrofoam or from clay.
Well,
or
it's
some
even
other...
easier than building miniatures. Because it's bigger pieces and there's less of them. But the cleanup is the thing that I don't want to do, so there you go.
Do I just sand it down?
Yeah. It's just plastic terrain, so do exactly what you would do on a miniature, except
Not
bigger.
right. No, are the mold lines really bad?
No, it's just bigger pieces.
Oh. So
like a section of wall is like mold lines. And
you said there's no mold lines.
There are mold lines.
I was like, so what do you mean by cleanup? Mold lines? You're like, nah. I'm like,
no,
well,
you said
what?
what do you mean, like bigger pieces? Like bigger mold lines? Like no, mold lines are the same size, but they're just on bigger pieces. They're just on bigger pieces.
Time to whip out the trusty pen knife and hope I don't cut my fingers off like last time.
Exactly. I've also gotta.
Yeah.
I've also gotta go and I might go to Art Friend or something and get me a pot of air, like some sort of pink,
air?
hot pink, from the GW Air range, some sort of hot pink. Maybe Screamer Pink.
I don't know. Say, you reckon the Lord of Change is more or less done, except for maybe 2 more dry brush coats? So I could probably glue them all up together now.
Let me see.
So I mean, Lord of Change is just not the base, vibing, just waiting for the crackle medium to dry.
Okay.
There he is. Then all his glory, ever-changing stuff.
Again, it's not pink enough.
Yeah, the wings. I mean, his leg feathers. I think I've done enough layering on those.
No, it's not neon pink. It's not changer of ways enough.
How will this ever become neon pink?
It can. You've seen the wings on my dragon. That was done with just dry brushing.
Yeah, but you had a slightly lighter pink, or stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Stuff.
What do you mean slightly lighter pink? It was a fire magma effect.
Was it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of miniatures in my life. Which dragon? You have 2 of them, right? You had Smaug at the LGS, and then you had the chrome one, right? It was a chrome?
No. I have the I painted the Stormcast Eternal one.
Yeah, that one. It's remind me the colors again. I for some reason I'm thinking of it being
it's
gray.
the blue one.
Blue, right? Okay, so I'm thinking of the right colors. It had sort of a it had big scales, right?
Yep.
The one on which you had orange wings that you dry brushed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's a nice dragon.
Just do layers, bro. You can get it to like orange. It's fine.
Orange. I don't want orange on my lord to change.
I said like you can get it to like that brightness, dude.
Oh, that brightness. Where did my glue go?
Uh-oh.
Top 10 questions science can't answer. Where did my glue go?
You can tell your parents that you're already interested in somebody. It's okay. They'll be glad.
I'm wondering where my glue is.
Oh.
These are more pressing matters.
Under the table. That's usually a good place.
Maybe inside the table?
In your pockets?
No. Oh wait, hold up. Is that the glue? No, these are neodyme magnets. Oh, and would you look at that? My old dry brush.
Look at that, you found that thing.
Hmm?
You found it.
The old dry brush, yeah. Where is the glue? Oh, is that the glue? Oh no, I think that's an empty. That's an empty glue. Or is it?
Or is it?
Ah, yeah. It's rock hard. It's got like it's like concrete.
What? The glue dried out?
Yeah, it's an old tube. Now,
Was it
where
super
is
glue?
the glue?
Is it super glue?
Yeah, it's super glues. I wouldn't question. I have Mod Podge, but I doubt that'll be useful.
Yeah, maybe not.
I actually feel like I was scammed. The Mod Podge was reasonably expensive, and it didn't do what it promised to do.
What did it promise to do that it didn't do?
It's called dimensional magic. You put it on a flat surface, and apparently it'll give you like a somewhat rounded edge to it, which slightly magnifies the surface. Put it on like a base, it didn't do that. It was just like a layer of transparent, which didn't actually give it any sort of glacier or water or any type of effect. It was just a transparent thing on the base. Now,
You're not supposed to just put it raw on the base like that.
No, look, no, you don't get it. I have it right here. You see, it's called
Dimensional
Mod
magic.
Podge Dimensional Magic. It had a little box with it which like showed you what it does and how it does it. And it didn't work. Maybe it's because I shook it before using it when it said don't shake. But I left it like out for like I left it for a couple of hours to settle again.
Okay.
And all the shaking does is add bubbles, which, you know, bubbles are bubbles. It is what shouldn't affect like the shape of it. It's a scam, okay, just trust me. Now where's my glue? Is it in the bag? No, that's not glue, that's a face mask. I'll be back. Just putting the headphones off, not going anywhere.
Yep. Hey, where are you? We get to see the Russian Slav squat. Look at that.
Found it.
Awesome. I was just
So,
telling our
did I
dear...
disturb something that you were saying?
No, I was just telling our dear viewers, like, look, we get to see the famous Russian/Slav squat.
Oh. I mean, people also call it the Asian squat.
Asian squat's different.
Ah, yeah, this is the correct glue. I glued my fingers together.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm doing okay, I guess.
Yep.
Ow! Okay. I unglued myself.
Good. As you do.
How'd I do it?
As you do.
Ah, as you do. Yeah.
Whew. Okay, this is
I
the
must
last
say, the
course.
Lord of Change is a very nice miniature.
I think it is, yeah. In spite of everything, I think it's a nice miniature. Even though I think that the current new large demons a little bit overpriced for what they are. Especially
I mean, I
Bellicor.
got this thing.
Especially
I got this thing
Bellicor.
for a discount.
Yeah, but especially Bellicor. Do you know how much that thing costs?
How much does Bellicor cost?
I think it was 210. So, Bellicor...
That's the price of the knight.
Yeah, that's the price of a Lariel, the large, like, monsters. Bellicor is 210,
Yeah.
so he is smaller than a Bloodthirster as well.
Alright, let's hope I can glue this properly and avoid crisis.
Avoid gluing your fingers together.
Yes, and preferably avoid gluing my fingers to the miniature.
It's a rite of passage, Ari.
But why is the hand was fitting perfectly before I put there we go.
It's a rite of passage.
That ever happened to you?
What?
When you were like, you dry fitted a piece and it was fitting perfectly until you put the glue and then you can't find the right way to put it?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Or I put my mic away.
That literally happens all the time.
Just blowing on the glue to make sure it dries clear. I took the advice of one of the people at the local game store of, with these crackle paints, you should use a fan to dry them out. Correct. And I was like, well, wouldn't that make it, like, very flaky? And they're like, no, it's all good. I tried it on 2 of my big miniatures.
Okay. How'd it go?
The base is warped.
Oh no.
So that's a thing to be aware of, don't cook your base too long.
What are you talking about? Like, he told you to cook the base?
No, hair dryer, hair fan.
Okay.
Second of all, yes, most of the flakes stick on nicely, but some could flake off. So, something to be aware of. It could be slightly flaky.
Yeah,
would not advise dry brushing it.
You can just use sealer first. You use a sealant.
You could. I didn't, but you could.
No, that's the recommended, like, instructions to use it if you are using a flaky medium. You're supposed to use a sealant.
Yeah, and
afterwards. Because they'll keep flaking. And, they might just flake off. Some of the pieces might flake off, so that's why you use a sealant.
But at the end of the day, the major thing is that, yeah, it does help you to quickly continue working on your miniature, However, I put a very thin coat, and I thought I screwed up here. But, the cracks are going to be small. The cracks do tend to be slightly larger if you quickly dry it, because of the science, the physics, and the process of when the paint dries, it bundles up together into little clumps, which cause it to pull and tear. But looking at it now, it's already beginning to slightly crackle, and I think it looks fine as is. So on some bases, less crackling could actually have more of an impact on the way it looks. Something to take away.
Yeah.
And another very important lesson is not to glue your fingers together.
Yeah, don't glue your fingers together. Don't glue your fingers onto the table as well. If anyone's worked in retail, always happens. Somebody does it.
Somebody tries to glue their fingers to the table.
No, somebody does glue their fingers to the table.
And then you have to lop off the old hand and wait for it to decompose, because there's no other way to get the skin off.
I mean, if they can't get their hand off, you call the fire department.
No? Well, if you don't like the noise, you can first let them perish due to starvation and dehydration before surgically removing the limb. But if you're a man who doesn't have much time, such as myself, I personally prefer to opt for the faster method of dispatching the person with a quick and swift lop of an axe, either first to the cranium and then the limb, and just let them bleed out. Though that does cause a bit more of a mess because they run around a bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Also, or you could just bludgeon them with a heavy book, preferably a Warhammer book. One of those hardbacks. That also works as well.
Yeah.
I find using the spine is also very effective. The spine of any codex will do. Just a quick, violent, whack, and usually they're out cold.
It looks like I'm trying to whisper stuff to the Lord of Change.
You're gonna whisper secrets into his
ear.
Whisper secrets.
Maybe we should just put him outside to dry the glue. Oh no, it's raining. He'll be stolen by the currents.
What, is it raining outside? The laundry!
Oh.
Is it raining outside actually?
I should have told you. It was storming like an hour ago.
It's not storming here.
Are you at Bugus? Yeah, you're quite far. The rain might be traveling towards you, though.
Oh, okay.
I'd check if
put it in. I wouldn't be able to hear it. That's why I was like, it's completely silent outside.
Alright. So yeah, there's... Essentially, the miniature of the Lord of Change is done at this point. Just waiting for the base to dry, and what should I paint the rim?
Of the base?
What color do you think would be suitable? I think light blue like cyan.
Of the base?
Yeah.
You could. I would just go with black.
Black?
Yep.
Let's see. Black is always a smart choice.
So I've just mixed up some oil shades for the basing. So they're not done
Quite
yet.
happy.
But...
I forgot to glue this on. The little bath towel.
Nice.
Such a shame. I pay so. Well, actually, no. I got this one for discount. But anyone who pays full price for such a big model, and it's not even annotated. Look at it. Who has a huge hole in their pen? Why would you do that to someone?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
You can't even call it the Lord of Change. It's just... I don't know. Legless big bird demon.
I don't know, man. So the plan with these girls, right, is that after like the basing's dried up, I've got some weathering powders, so I'll be putting that on the base as well, and using airbrush thinner, which I'll be like applying on there. The weathering powders will be able to just stick on, so it'll look like the sisters are kind of walking through like a really dusty, like dusty patch.
Oh, you have weathering powder?
Yeah.
Are you willing to sell it?
Why? They're super cheap.
Some
Bro.
of it. No, I mean, because one of my friends is like, hey, yo, I want weathering powder. You being you, could you please help me get it off of Carousel? And I was like, I really don't want to go and get stuff off Carousel. I can't be bothered to like meet up with people.
You
If
can
I could
just
purchase a bit off of you.
You can just get it at the local hobby store. There's at a local hobby store, like literally at Boogie's.
Oh, by the way, next to the one there, there's there was a little shop. Are we allowed to disclose the shop's location?
What shop? Yeah, we're allowed to disclose locations. Why?
Yeah, I think it's called M Workshop. Wait, M Workshop.
Yeah, that's the shop I go to get the weathering powder.
Oh wow, I was there. Like I picked this bloke up on Wednesday. There, I must say I'm very surprised they've got so much more Warhammer now. The guy and the gal who run it are very nice, very hospitable people.
Yeah.
I essentially became a member there, so there's like 3 little stickers. Very cool. You want one, Bill?
I'm already a member there. I bought my airbrush there.
Seems like I'm doing very questionable things, but I'm just making sure there's enough ventilation for the glue to dry. Yeah, okay, that probably dried up nicely. Alright, now I have to stick this on. Gosh.
Ooh, and then probably the next step to this is like I'm gonna do the white cows, and then do the gold and the silver on these gals. Yeah, and then finally do the faces. The faces. Bleh.
Well, you don't like painting faces?
It's gonna take a while.
Honestly, same.
As for the weapons and the blades, I'm thinking of not doing like a power sword effect on them. So I've got like a chrome marker that I got off like a shop. So it's literally like I've tested it on a few other things, and it's like it's really chrome actually. Like I can see myself in it.
Oh wait, speaking of chrome, one moment. A bucket that has been sort of made into a knight helmet.
Oh, it's a Ned Kelly helmet. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it took about 5 layers of the chrome spray paint to get this finish, and now it's a bit grimy, so it's not as reflective, but if I give this a good wash and a gentle scrub so I don't remove the paint, I can actually see my own reflection in this.
Yeah, but I've got a little marker to do that, so like yeah, I can do it on miniatures. I've been doing it on
honestly.
I've been doing it on a few miniatures, and it's like it's going pretty well.
You should use a spray paint can.
No. Thing about chrome spray paints is that they tend to take on, like, get applied on very thick, so you'll lose a lot of detail in the miniature.
Yeah, another problem is that if you want that nice chrome finish, 2 layers isn't gonna cut it. I needed to put down 3 layers, and after that I could see that, okay, this has a bit more reflectiveness than a silver. After the 4th layer, it began reflecting stuff, and on the 5th to 6th layer, I could actually see my reflection in the thing. So 6 coats of decent thickness on a miniature would probably make them look like a silhouette.
Yep. So that's why I'm like, I traveled all around and was like, I finally found a marker that could do it. So it can be, applied on to certain areas and not just the entire miniature. And it's not like oil based, and it's not like enamel based like most other oil, like most other like chrome paints are. But it's literally just like a little thing. Take it off and go like boop, 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 and it's chrome. Actually, I can do it now.
Alright, well, time to paint the base rim, then touch up a few little details, paint the base rim again, and I think I'll be done with the Lord of Change.
So this is it.
Oh. Well, chrome silver marker.
Yeah, chrome silver marker. There you go. Give it a shake. Take it off and do it on the gal with the double stiletto knives.
Double stiletto knives?
She's got a sword and a stiletto knife.
Aren't stiletto knives meant to be the long toothpick-looking ones?
Yep.
I never liked them. I always thought they were a weird knife.
Why do you think they're a weird knife?
I mean, they're essentially a mini spear. And, I mean, from a practical point of view, that's actually kind of useful to have, but I'm fairly certain you and quite a few people that are probably watching have heard of the hit game CSGO.
Yeah.
And in CSGO, a stiletto knife, I think it's a bit overpriced for what it is. And if you get it with the rusted skin, it just looks like a toothpick. So, if you're getting a knife in CSGO, if you like the stiletto, go ahead. But there's better out there for a cheaper price. Yeah. Other than that, stiletto knives, because if you think about it, the knife and the spear are weapons that are very similar in purpose and how you use them. Because with a knife, your main 2 attacks are, like a jab and a slice or a cut. With the spear, the main form of attack is also mainly the jab or the thrust. And essentially, if you have a decent enough spear tip, you could do some minor cuts with it. And these weapons are meant to, go pierce through stuff like leather armor or chainmail, because you concentrate a lot of force on a small tip. So yeah, just interesting facts.
Oh yeah. I can understand what you mean. I can get hip with the kids.
Right, I think I finally thought of the way to phrase the the thing with Warhammer. that if GW goes under and Warhammer becomes something that's owned by the community, like the rules to it. First of all, there's going to be lots of fracturing because every different community will have its own sort of rules. Every sort of a different area, every region will sort of have its own different stuff. And another thing is that without new blood coming into Warhammer, it'll be less popular thing because it's not being supported anymore. How long will those regions last? Like, eventually, the owner who is, making the rules and refreshing everything will get bored, get old, move on. If they don't appoint a new apprentice, okay, fine, say they do. After some time, it's all just going to go under, and there will be no. When will you be too bored of playing your friend over and over again, and you'll just go, maybe we should move? That's sort of what I was trying to hint at. If a big company doesn't buy the rights to Warhammer, which probably will happen, because Warhammer seems to be a rather profitable thing if you know what you're. And GW sort of has an idea of what to do. They just not thinking about the community as much as many people would like them to be thinking of them.
Yeah. It's just very short-term gains right now for GW, and I don't. A lot of us are scratching our heads a bit.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you do that? That's really weird. It's like,
I mean, you reckon GW would appoint, like, if they see that their sales aren't going very good, and the community actually gets their stuff together and organizes, like, a protest, or, like, refuses to buy stuff, somehow magically everyone gets on board, and GW actually loses more than, like, 10%
Mr.
of
Ari,
their sales. Yeah?
look at my sword! Oh god.
Oh wow, that's an epic looking sword. What happened with your finger? Is that a cut, or is that just wash?
That's wash. That's oil wash.
Okay.
Look
Right,
how shiny it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And look at
Epic.
this little knife.
It's almost as shiny as the helmet. 2 to 3 more coats and you'll be able to, like, see your own face in the reflection of the stiletto knife.
Oh no, I can already do that right now in real life.
Oh wow.
The camera doesn't pick it up.
Yeah. So if I'm just thinking, if GW actually loses more than 10% of their sales, will they appoint, like, a new CEO or, like, a new manager, whatever they're doing, and maybe we'll see the GW communicate more with the kids on the street or their actual fan base?
Maybe.
But that's never happening, let's be honest.
They did that in the past. So this is the second wave of, like, GW, like, doing really weird, crazy stuff. They tried to do this in the early 2000s, and that very nearly bankrupted the company.
Wow.
So, yeah. They won't be changing
Clearly,
until...
they haven't learned much.
They won't be changing until it gets that bad.
Interesting. Very interesting. Hey, are we actually getting comments on our videos now?
Some
Not
comments
much.
here and there. Some comments here and there.
Oh, there are?
Yeah.
I see. Think of maybe getting the community involved in naming this Lord or Lady of Change something epic.
Do it.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Like,
It's official
call it
now, I
out.
guess. So if you're watching and you want to get involved with us a bit more, guess, comment some cool name for this Lord or Lady of Change, and we'll see which sounds, the most interesting and which one is the most agreed upon, and hopefully we'll get a named character for like a crusade game or something. And then we could have a battle report or like, a discussion of the crusade game. I think that'd be interesting. That'd be nice. Maybe we should try filming a battle report sometime. I think the people would enjoy that.
We could try.
It's probably a lot of editing, though.
That's not...
Nah, I think it'll be too much. It'll be too much for Bill.
I am a one-man show, and I still have to go to work.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to see me do more content, help me out. Help the channel grow. So I don't have to work. So I can do
as
this
they would
full-time.
say, if you want to help us out, send us the image of your parents' credit card with 3 wacky numbers at the back. Oh god, no, don't actually do that. It'd be detrimental to the economic situation of your family.
Yes.
Though we would very much appreciate it. It will be in your best interests not to follow what I just recommended. I'm legally obliged to tell you that this is a joke, and I'm not being serious.
Yes, do not do that. Do not do that. If you'd like to support us, just like and subscribe and share the video around and, comment and like the video. Like, honestly, just get involved. That's the best thing, honestly. That's what we like to see.
Spread the word.
That's what we like to see, and it really motivates us to, do more.
And spread the wisdom. Tell people not to superglue their fingers together. It'll help everyone, I hope.
Yeah, that bit of wisdom usually helps everyone.
Usually. You reckon I should wash the Brimstone Horrors with Carabuk Crimson?
Why?
You reckon it'll make them look more fiery?
I think they're alright, honestly.
Alright, so I just won't touch them, in fears of ruining them. A very wise choice. Carabug Crimson. Still remember when I accidentally painted a High Fleet Leviathan Dragon High Fleet Hydra, because I washed it a bit too much.
Oh, was that by
But
accident?
they're actually in the back. Yeah. If anyone zooms in, they could probably see what I was pointing at. Or should I just bring it closer?
Just bring it closer, dude.
Okay, one moment. Let me wash some things and then I'll bring it closer for the camera.
Oh my god, like... the camera doesn't show how shiny this blade is. It's so shiny.
You're limited by the technology of your time.
The technology is not there yet.
Then again, if you had a 4K HD camera, I would be rather suspicious, and I think many people would be suspicious of what you do.
I wouldn't be. I'd be like,
Anywho.
Yeah.
So we could technically do the whole battle report in one sitting.
We could, but we have to do it on a weekday. To avoid too many people in the shop, because,
What's wrong with people?
The audio is gonna get real murky and
the audio.
diluted very quickly, so nobody will be able to hear what we're doing. And also, I need to convince Daniel to see if we can store lighting. Well, store lighting equipment in the back somewhere.
I think that's a bit excessive, but
Because-
whatever you need.
Well, the store's lighting conditions aren't very good for even picture taking. I know because I've taken a few pictures in the store, and they've never turned out as good as I thought. And it's just like lack of lighting, dude.
Well, I mean, God, I looked at the IKEA light too long. I could bring the IKEA light because it's disassemblable. So
I've got
like
two
just
small kind of like lighting fixtures that I can bring over anyway, but I just need I need their permission to just keep it there. That's the thing.
I mean, how transportable are they?
They're pretty transportable. I can just put them in a little box.
Because I mean, if Daniel says no, then I mean, technically speaking, I could just probably keep them with me, and then whenever we want to film something, I just bring them over to the shop. Because I don't bring much. I store most of my stuff in the store nowadays.
Oh yeah, same now.
Alright, so I guess you could have the honors of bringing in the light. If you want, of course.
Yeah. I mean, like, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot one of these days. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be recording D&D though, so I won't be at the shop until much later on. Actually, I won't be at the shop until like way later on, maybe like 6 or 7, because I've got to pick up my second commission for the week.
I might not go to the shop tomorrow. I'll see.
Oh, you don't want to have a game with Varden? He's coming over, I think.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Don't know. I'll see. And I'll see what I have for tomorrow. See what I have.
Yeah, you can fight him with your nits. Did you fight him with your nits? Oh yeah. Well, how did the game go?
I think I told you, haven't I? Oh, I haven't.
Well, the audience hasn't. Yeah, the audience doesn't know.
It was an interesting game. It was a very evenly matched, I would say.
Did you use your 1,000 Suns or your nits?
1,000 Suns, so it was very similar to the previous game. I lost once again, unfortunately. Well, actually, last time it was a draw, so couldn't really say much. But this time I did lose. I was tabled, and all my objectives were taken. It was a...
Oh no!
So the first few turns were very close. Then Magnus, well, I put off a few psychic powers, so I disabled Mortari's Invan. Then I charged him, got quite close to killing him. It didn't really work. There was a few mishaps with the rules. We got some rules wrong, but it is what it is. Biggie. After that, after Magnus died, not much went my way. Most of my stuff was obliterated by the Chaos Knight and Mortarion. So the lists were very similar to the previous time. My opponent had Mortarion, a Chaos Knight, the melee one. He had a couple of Plague Marine Terminator people, Plague Bearers, like a squad or two of them, and a Rhino. Oh, he also had the Mortar tank.
Oh yeah.
I had 2 5-man squads of 1,000 Suns Rubricae, 1 10-man squad, 2 10-man squads of Zangors, Magnus the Red, a Chaos Knight, which had the Avenger Gatling cannon, and the big gun. I don't know its name. What else did I have? Well, I had a Zangor Shaman. Ahriman was a thing, and I had a Sorcerer, as well as a Rhino, Chaos Rhino. So that's that, and I'm thinking, some people say that having a Magnus and a Chaos Knight is a bit excessive, so I might change Magnus, or I might exchange the Chaos Knight for the Lord of Change. Then hopefully it'll have some cool name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the Lord of Change is like
huh?
way cheaper than Magnus. I think you can get like 2 Lords of Change for 1 Magnus.
Do I want to? I was thinking more of like a Lord of Change and a few Pink Horrors and Screamers or something.
I think you can get a lot more than that. I think the Lord of Change is like almost half Magnus's points.
Magnus costs like 450-ish, right?
Yeah, the Lord of Change is like 180 something.
180? Nonsense, it's like 350, or am I thinking about the
No, that's Kairos Fate
the
Weaver.
other one. No, the other Warhammer game. The golden people and the
Age of Sigmar. you mean.
Sigmar, Age of Sigmar. That's the one. Yeah. Did I say little people?
The golden little people.
Does-
Yes.
Don't both the Warhammers have little people in them?
Yes.
Interesting. Ever since I've got like bigger miniatures, sounds a bit weird. I tend to call the normal sized miniatures little people because they're very small compared to the bigger ones.
It is true.
What have I done? Yeah, Lord of Change is 300 points.
Oh. Oh.
Well, I gave
That's
him
a lot more.
a few upgrades.
Oh, okay. What's his base?
290.
Oh, there you go. That's more like it.
Yeah, because I gave him so how I think I'm gonna run my Lord of Change. Well, I don't know if this is the best way, but it's probably gonna be a psychic artillery sort of unit, where I gave him the Rod of Sorcery, which I think it gives him an extra range for his smite, something like that. He is my
Okay.
warlord for 500 points of Demons of Zinj, which I'll probably substitute into my 1,000 Suns. I gave him the Impossible Robes because I think having that extra, I think it's a 4-up save, a 4-up invuln, pretty
Yep.
good. And
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's just, it's very Zinch-like to have the ability of once per game I can reroll a failed save, but if it's a 1, the Impossible Robes like eat or banish the greater demon back to the warp. So yeah, very
I just like the
Zinch-y.
idea.
And
I just like the idea of like it's the impossible robes. It's like the Impossible Man. It's like
yeah.
I was old enough to see that show. Wow, jeez.
And then I gave him the Warlord trait of Incorporeal Form, which I think gives him -1 damage from incoming stuff. The thing is, psychic powers are Smite, Bolt of Change, and Infernal Gateway. So all of those are basically damage powers, so to attack people with. So the way I really laid him out is to sort
You
of...
can give him the
be-
power that like removes invulnerable saves, which is pretty good.
I don't think that... actually, wait, is it Treason of Zinj? Oh, I can take 1 more psychic power on him, apparently. Oh well. I can't take 2 more, I can take... here we go. Is it Treason of Zinj? No. I don't think Demons of Zinj have that power, only 1,000 Suns.
Oh, okay. I mean, just put it on Ahriman, and then chop, chop, chicken chop.
Yeah.
Get him to cast that.
Yeah, but that's the problem with losing Magnus. He was like my big psychic power caster.
I mean, usually, like, if I was to play Thousand Suns, right, like, I wouldn't use, like, Magnus as my big, like, caster. I would use
wouldn't?
Ahriman. Yeah, I would use Ahriman.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like, look at my guys, I'm just gonna shoot you with my AP -2 bolters all day long from range, and just, my rotary cannons, just like, and then I'm gonna, just unleash, like, 3 units of spawn at you and see what happens.
Yeah, but Magnus, the reason I really like him, especially against something like Mortarion, is that since Mortarion is a Psyker, despite hating them, that 2-up to my cast is very powerful.
Yeah.
So something which requires like a 7 or 8-up warp charge is basically a guarantee at that point. Because, it's like, what, 2-up? What, I need 8? Okay, 6. If I roll 2 3s, I should probably roll 2 3s, because 7 is the most likely number to roll. I'm gonna get that easily. So if my strategy usually is that I'd use my copious amounts of Psychers to throw useless stuff at him, like, oh, I'm gonna smite Mortarion. It's like, oh, I'm gonna lose mortal wounds. I can't save those much, so I'll try to deny that, and then I'll just throw smite after smite into him, and then when he's out of psychic powers, I'll be like, nice, Magnus is gonna smite, but it's like a 9 up. Yeah, no biggie. 2 up. Throw my dice. Usually I get off my smite. If it's a super smite, even better. Do damage to Mortarion. Then I'd use Swell to buy the warp. That's if Mortarion managed to cast his psychic powers on himself to give him like toughness 10, which is negated because I get plus, it's like plus 2 strength or plus 1 strength, which brings me up to strength 10, and my weapon is times 2 strength, so I'm wounding on 2s, which is crazy strong. But then I also have my other power, which is Twist of Fate, to remove Mortarion's invulnerable save. So he should be at like 5 up, feel no pains. So, it's pretty powerful, but...
Yeah, he does reduce damage still, and he does still have his 5 up, feel no pains.
So maybe I shouldn't be throwing Magnus at him, because if Magnus just stays back...
Because he could survive that, that's the thing.
I mean, the past 2 games I've had, he did survive. Albeit some rules were misread, but yeah.
So Mortarion does have a demonic save, so he has a 5 up. One of his warlord traits, I think, increases that to a 4 up, so that's how he's getting the 4 up invulnerable.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mortarion can take a lot of warlord traits. I think he can take 3.
Yeah.
So he just takes all the warlord traits. Like,
yeah,
I have all the warlords.
If I am to fight him again, I think what I'll really do is do the same thing, except instead of charging Mortarion, I'd charge the Chaos Knight, who I think Magnus could probably kill. Then after that, I just keep Magnus far from Mortarion and just smite him to death.
I mean, all I did with to shut down Mortarion was just go like, okay, no horror. He's like, Tyranids. And then
how would the horror do much? It's just -2 leadership and like -1 to hit.
Yeah, it does a whole lot, dude. It changes him from a 2+ to hit to a 3+.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's sad and all, but let's be honest.
Like, that is a huge like debuff, dude. And the fact that he doesn't get that many attacks, if he does his like super like anti like vehicle thing, he only gets 6 attacks, bro. Like 5 or 6 attacks. With a 3+, you're liable to miss 1 or 2 of those. And plus, I usually paroxysm him, so it's like, oh, I'm fighting last. Oh no!
Yeah, but think about Nids, there's no real way to deny, oh, actually, no, now there is a way to saves. Just throw a Hive Tyrant at him.
Oh no, I don't even bother. I'm just like, you just go with massive damage. Like, that's why I have the Scythe Hero Duel. Like, Mortarion charged my Scythe Hero Duel and, like, was like, yeah, but you're going last. You're fighting last. So that's how, like, my Scythe Hero Duel ate Mortarion. Just like, nom. Because, he got, like... Yeah, like, the Scythe Hero Duel got, like, 2 of its attacks in through Mortarion. And, like, it did, like, maximum damage. It did 12 wounds to him. And he only saved 2 of them with his disgusting, like, with his, feel no pain. So he took 10 wounds.
Blimey.
Yeah. And then I just went like, oh, okay. And then he just went like,
I mean, Is Mortarion, like, if you can deny his psychic, can you just ignore him? Because with his swooping attacks, he only does like 9 attacks. That's 9 termagants that kill in a turn.
Oh yeah,
if you just keep hitting him gants, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing with Mortarion. Like, you either ignore him or you basically just debuff him so that he doesn't really want to charge anything. So it's like, it's a pretty big, like, Mortarion's thing is that he needs to charge something to kill it. So if you just go like, okay, you're gonna fight last, so whatever you charge is gonna fight you first. It's like, ooh, okay, things that I'm charging are usually like, the big scary things. That's not good.
Yeah. Then if you just charge gaunts, you're essentially what 9 gaunts in a turn. If say that the expensive gaunts 7 points, 63 points in a fight phase, 5 fight phases, say 60 points, 300 points, and Mortarion costs 400-ish, right?
Yeah.
So you're not buying him back. That's saying if you can deny a psychic, which my armies should be able to do. Play
Yeah, yeah.
Thousand Suns and
He's not that
Nids.
good of a psycho. He doesn't get any bonuses to psychic powers. He's just a psycho.
Still quite powerful. Just Smite in itself is a good power.
Yeah, but it doesn't help if it's just like, you're in my Chronos bubble now. Oh. It's like, you are in my Chronos bubble now. Fear me.
Yeah,
Roll
actually,
bad.
I think my usual Tyranid list would actually fare decently well against him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I can keep my Gene Stealers hidden for a turn or two,
Don't Gene
and then
Stealer
charge
him. Do not Gene Stealer him.
And not Mortarion, I mean like his backline objective holders, like Poxwalkers. I don't care if you have a 5-up Feel No Pain. 20 Gene Stealers, that's 4 attacks because there's lots of them hitting on.
I wouldn't even so here's the thing about Poxwalkers, right? Gene Stealers are really dangerous. But the Poxwalkers are also really dangerous to Gene Stealers. Because they're oddly enough quite good at killing Gene Stealers. And every one, because they're only 1 wound, every one that you kill resurrects 1 Poxwalker on his side.
What?
Yeah, it's their thing. If they kill 1 model in a unit, they get to bring 1 model back.
Yeah.
Like, the zombie thing.
Yeah.
So, oddly enough, Gene Stealers it's a bit risky to put in Gene Stealers against Poxwalkers. So I tend to just smash in my warriors.
Alright. So Gene Stealer, I'll charge his Marines or something like that.
Yeah, they'd be charging his Marines or his Death Shroud. But his Death Shroud do all have flamers, so you gotta be careful of that Overwatch.
Alright, I'll probably charge my Hormagaunts in first. So I've got enough melee to.
I charged my Neurothrope in first. I was like,
Stone.
I was like, Brain Boy, go! And he's like, what? Just ate up all the flamer shots, and it's like, oh, it does nothing to it. Does nothing.
Yeah, because Zoanthrope's Exocrine Hiveguard should probably keep his artillery, either his artillery at bay or Mortarion at bay. Because Mortarion doesn't ignore Invuns, right?
No, he does not.
Alright, so I'll just smite him and wait for him to get into close range, and then I just charge him with my Zoanthropes.
So my thing with his artillery pieces was that I literally just like went up to it and just started like smiting it with my Neurothropes, and it was just like
it died.
Pew, pew, pew. It's like, oh, okay. And then I think 2 of my lictors like got into combat with one of them and did like 8 wounds to it, and I was like, whoa, that is pretty sweet considering the toughness 8. That's a toughness 8
The only problem
vehicle.
I think I might have is the Knight. What would I do? Throw Swarmlord at it?
Yeah, essentially, like, I would just, like, I tend to use the Swarmlord with the Turret Guard, so I would just, like, just go, like, come at me, Knight! Just be like a massive, like, stop, speed bump for the Knight, just like the corner of the skulls, and just be like, BAM! You shall not pass!
Is the Knight, I mean, it has a lot of attacks, but it has, if he uses Titanic Feet, Swarmy's probably gonna die.
Yeah,
but
no, actually no.
You want to use them. Why not?
Yeah.
That's 12 attacks, hitting on 2s.
Okay.
So let's say like 12 will go through.
Wounding on 4s.
Why 4s? 3s. Strength 8, toughness 7.
Oh, okay. Strength 8. I thought there was strength 7. And then, 3 plus invulnerable.
Yeah, so say out of those 12, how many would go through? 8 would go through, right? Is my
No,
math right?
3 plus invulnerable. No, you would save 8.
No. He wounds on 3s.
Oh, he wounds on 3, so he would wound 8 of
What?
them, and then 3
Yeah.
plus invulnerable, so he would maybe get 1 or 2 in?
Would he?
Yeah.
And they're each D3 damage, so if
D3
4 go through,
damage,
there's a chance of killing the Swarmy.
D3 damage, okay, cool, the Tyrant Guard are there, so feel no pain,
I don't
and
have
then...
Tyrant Guard.
Oh, okay. You know, he'll probably got, like, you know, Catalyst on him, so 5 out feel no pain, and, you know, usually fine.
Okay, wait, one moment. I'll just mute up. I need to quickly check something. I'll just unmute in like 2 to 3 minutes.
Uh-oh. What is going on? What could Ari be doing? You sure know? So yeah, like in most games, the Swarm mode has always been like the big distraction card effects. It has always been just the, my god, everything, shoot at it, just shoot at it, kill it, and it's just not died until like the very last stage where, you know, I think in my most recent game against like IG, the Swarm mode killed no less than 2 Chimeras. Yeah, 2 Chimeras.
Chimeras are chimeras.
Like, he killed 2 Chimeras, 20 Katachan dudes, his entire command squad, Sergeant, like, Iron Hand Strachan.
You sure you were playing 5 turns?
Yeah, full 5 turns. We had to play full 5 turns. We finished the game.
How did he kill so much? Swarmlord only has like, what, 6 attacks?
Yeah, dude, like, it's just like, you know, put 3 in one and 3 into the other. It's not like they have a good, like, invul save.
No, I mean, this, like, how does he kill so many models? Like, okay, fine, I get smite, but then, are you getting super smite every time?
No,
Are you
he doesn't need to.
screaming?
Yeah, I'm psychic screaming, but no. He just went up and just smacked them, and it's like dead. Chimeras only have like 11 wounds.
How did you? No, I get that chimeras are. Yeah, I understand chimeras. You can kill those very easily. A few smites and like, you know, 1 melee phase. But how do you kill 20 Katachan guardsmen with like 6 attack? That's
yeah, bro,
easily
like,
3 turns of.
Like, I'm fishing for 6s because the 6s do additional mortal wound.
Oh, well, yeah, I get that, but still, 20 guardsmen is like a lot.
Yeah,
we're extremely lucky,
like,
I guess.
Yeah, over the course of like 2 or 3 turns, he was like killing those 20 guardsmen because he was like really pushing those guardsmen because like after I killed his like basically most of his characters, he only had his commissar left to issue orders. His own like
commissars can issue orders.
Yeah, Lord Commissar.
Okay. Frick, I haven't been issuing orders to my guardsmen.
Yeah. So, like, it was just like, he's on his last strings. It's basically like, you know, if these 20, like, die, you know, too soon, the Lord Commissar's gonna die, and he's got nobody to issue orders anymore. The entire command structure is, like, collapsed.
And honestly, at that point, what do you do? Like, it's Tyranids. You can't, like, you know, surrender or anything. Like, you either blow your brains out, or you, like, go for, like, a bayonet charge and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, my hero duel did quite good. He killed about 2 chimeras, but the hero duel got killed by the Demolisher Cannon tank commander. And I'm like, still like, holy crap. Like, you know, like that hero duel. Like, but, you know, it's a big distraction card effects. I can't be, like, you know, I can't be too angry at it. You know, it distracts people away.
Alright. You done painting? Do you want to call it a day?
Yeah, let's call it a night, bro. Like, you know, I'm good painting. I'm just waiting for things to dry, and yeah,
Sure.
Quite good progress today, man. Like, good progress.
Finish my Lord of Change.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
It's freaking awesome. Well, alright, thank you for...
the community actually responds and we get a cool name.
Yeah. I mean, like, guys, like, if you can think of a cool name for Ari's Lord of Change, please comment down below.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you very much for listening all the way to the end. Shout outs, yeah. You can follow us on Instagram at DragonToothMakes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. And thank you very much again. Have a good night, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye bye.